right. Well, we made our way down here. Just so you know, this is a project. We're calling it the Forever Home. It's down on the Cape. It's about an hour from where I live, so I just made the trek down here. And this is episode 1 of the Forever Home. Now, I'm gonna be doing this project with Shoreline Builders. That's owned by Jim Wolfer and his son, Taylor. Been working with those guys for over 30 years, if you can believe it. We have a very exciting project for you here. And today is demo day. So why don't we go catch up and see what demo day looks like.
Forever Home, a Build Original series, is brought to you by Builders First Source, Baczek Exteriors, Huber Engineered Woods, and Rockwool. Forever Home, a Build Original series.
Show, Steve Baczek, architect. Yes, I am out on the job site of our Forever Home. We're pouring concrete, but that's not why I'm here to talk to you. I'm here to talk to you about exterior trim. What if I told you there's a trim out there that's rot resistant, approved for ground contact, it could get painted, it's insect resistant, it comes in a multitude of different profiles and pretty much solves all of the problems you need solved. One of the things about trim as an architect and decisions that I have to make is understanding that trim is one of the last things that goes on a house. That means it's one of the first things that gets challenged. So I need something that has very long-term durability, not only in the product, but in the company itself, right? I don't want to use some fly-by-night. Baczek Exteriors, they've been around since the turn of the century. Over 25 years, they've been making profiles. You can see here, they sent me a few here. Water tables, we have garage with the gasket, preformed corners, crown molding. This is all cellular PVC. It's not gonna rot. You can get it in color here if you want to do the porch ceiling. They have a whole bunch of stuff. Vented soffit, which we're likely going to be using on this project. So if you're looking for your next trim for your next project, you got it. Baczek Exteriors. Go check them out, baczekexteriors.com. All right, so we're outside. You can see we're getting prepped for demo. I figured before we actually demo the house, let's just take a little walk around the inside. You can see what some of the problems were with the house and how those are somewhat counter to the solutions that we needed to provide for this family. So you can see they identified where the septic tank is. They're taking out a bunch of the vegetation here. We're gonna be demoing shortly, but let's take a little walk around the inside. All right, so we made our way inside, and as you can see, we're very prepared for demo. Jim took out all of the windows, all of the doors, pretty much a lot of the stuff that we don't want to go into the dumpster. It goes to a separate place to get recycled, other than the wood and the plaster, roof shingles, all of that go to a different location to get recycled. But I figured we'd just take a little walk around. You know, we're in one of the living rooms there. You can see this is a pretty traditional New England Cape. Certainly the rooms are of okay size. They're not the largest. A pretty small kitchen here. And remember, it's basically 3 families are moving into this house. So the solution that we needed to provide, this house just really isn't working towards that success, even though you may look at it and say, hey, that's a beautiful house that they're tearing down. As you remembered from my conversation about the house, you know, there's some handicapped issues. Again, 3 families, screen and porch there, pretty small living room here. Small bathrooms, but I think one of the things, when we go upstairs, you'll see that it just really isn't conducive. There's a bedroom downstairs here, very small, has a very small bathroom that certainly couldn't be renovated it would need to be about twice the size that it is to service the handicapped brother. So we'll take a quick walk around the upstairs, and then we'll jump outside and prepare to demo. So first thing you'll notice, and I'm not a small guy, but you can see here, right? This ceiling is probably somewhere in a 6-8 range. Certainly not conducive to what the requirements are, you know, of the new home that needs to be here. Again, 3 families, 4 occupants, 1 that is in a wheelchair all the time. Obviously, no way to get upstairs here. 2 relatively small bathrooms. They're flanking a small outdated bathroom there. And if we take a walk in here, you can see what's a pretty typical New England house, right? Closets are limited to a little slope section, about 3 feet of closet here. So anyways, you know, that's what we're dealing with here. Just not a whole lot of space. And even here you can see, like us, you can see the house has a little bit of aging in it. The middle of the house is sinking a little. It's getting tired, right? You get old, you start leaning over. Well, houses in wood frames are exactly the same. A little thing called creep, right? Over time, they start falling over a little bit. But anyways, we jump outside and fire up that excavator, and we'll get this whole Forever Home project started. So I'll see you outside. All right, so hopefully you're ready. We got Dan in the excavator. He's ready. I think it's time to kick off the Forever Home project. I don't know about you, but I'm excited to take this one down, put it in the dumpster, get started on that new Forever Home with Shoreline Builders and our clients. So got my man Dan there. We got a green light, and we're demoing. Demo day is always an exciting day. Kind of a sad day. We're tearing down a house, but the good news is we're gonna be starting a new project here. Well, while I can watch this all day, I think we should probably catch up with Jim or Taylor, and let's kick off this project properly. Jim and Taylor, contractors, Shoreline Builders. We'll catch up with them, and we'll give you a little preview of this series and what's to come. So let's go catch up with those gentlemen. All right, so I was able to get Jim on camera. Consider that a huge success. Good morning, Jim. Well, there's no turning back now.
No, we're into it now.
We're definitely into it now.
Yeah.
So Jim is the owner of Shoreline Builders. Shoreline Builders been around a long time.
Yep, we have. Yep.
So for those of you not aware, my very first project I ever did as an architect was with Jim over 30 years ago. We've been together, and I got to tell you, I've never even seen Jim roll an eyeball, raise his voice. He is the coolest of people to deal with, and all you young contractors out there, follow along in this series. His son Taylor will be joining us on some of the video, I'm sure, who is part of the program now, and he's very much just like his dad, so a dream to work with. So as you can see, we are well underway. Jim and I, we work in a design-build relationship. So Jim, if you want to speak to the benefits of you and I working together with the client literally from day one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the main benefit is when they start, they have a whole team in place. Yep. Versus somebody trying to find an architect, design plans. Often those get redesigned, and then they're out to hunt down a builder. So we come in, we work with a client, we usually establish a budget to work within, and then you go ahead and do your thing, and we work together as we design the project.
Yeah.
So,
And you know, Jim's very modest about it, but one of the things he's not afraid to say is, you know, hey, everything we did in that meeting today, or the things we talked about there, they didn't benefit the budget any. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's, you know, over our time, and I would guess we've probably done well over 100 projects together.
Yeah.
At this point, a bunch of new houses, renovations, old house renovations, you know, some very stressful situations, but Jim always seems to make it go very smooth. But the reason things go smooth is, you know, Jim injects that, hey, that's not helping the budget any. It's okay if you want to do it, and it's fine if you want to do it, but there's a cost that's associated with that might not align with the initial budget.
Right.
And so we're constantly having those conversations, as well as the thing that I really like about Jim is, even though I've been doing it a long time, there's a lot of times where Jim will just simply say, Steve, if we did this instead of that, or my insulation guy wants to insulate the basement this way or the roof this way, can we talk about maybe swapping that out? And he is always just a really good teammate in making suggestions, always watching that bottom line of the budget, so that literally, you know, our clients, we've been with them for what, probably over a year.
Yep.
And
started about a year ago.
They've been extremely happy the whole year. So, you know, plugging along, just making the right decisions, going to see windows together. Maybe we went a couple times so they could, you know, finalize. But the thing that's important is, you know, our job is to manage expectations. And if a homeowner wants to go to a window place 3 times, guess what? We go to a window place 3 times, right? And we talk about windows. We rehash questions that they need to feel comfortable, because once you get past this point, you don't want things.
No, it's getting all the details right and making sure everything's in place. And then once that's done, it's just a building project. We just come in and put it together. So it's all that prep work up front that counts.
Yeah, I can watch demo forever here. So, a couple quick specs on the house. The house that we're tearing down, it's probably about 2,300 square feet. Now, we're calling this the forever home, and our clients, that it is a couple, but that couple has taken on a few tasks where the husband's brother will be moving in. And the husband's brother is physically challenged. He's in a wheelchair 24 hours a day. So that necessitates a large bedroom suite on the first floor, bathroom. The wife has some site issues that we have to tend to, as well as the husband's sister, as one of the caretakers to the brother, will also be living here. So basically, 3 families, if you will, are going to be living in the forever home. And that's kind of why we called it that, because we're developing this new, and I believe it's like 3,500 square feet above grade. And then we have about another 1,500 below grade, but I don't know, probably 800 or 900 of that is a shop for him.
Correct. Yeah.
So it seems to be one of those things. Every husband, I want my shop in the basement. We're doing a project up in Maine. We got I don't know, 2,000 square foot shop for the husband. But so we'll top out probably somewhere in the 5,000 square foot range, the 2 floors above, and that basement space. But I think the most important thing is the new house is going to be something that's adaptable for those four families there. So Jim, tell us, we're demoing the house here. Where do we go from here?
Yeah, so the house will be down and gone today. Next couple days is going to dig out the foundation, get that material out. It all goes to recycling facilities, and then we're into excavation. So we've got a rather large hole to excavate, and we'll be hauling materials out, storing some stuff on site, and then we're into the foundation prep. So we're got a lot of gravel that will be coming in for underfootings, and then the next guy in is the concrete guy. So we'll be setting up forms and pouring concrete.
So the recycling aspect that you talked about, is that a requirement by the town, or is that an elective decision?
It makes sense, right?
Yeah,
so
I know.
Yeah, these guys can haul this away, goes to a facility, so they're just, we're not weighing the concrete. It gets dumped it gets reprocessed, so it's coming back as road material, and a whole variety of products that they'll turn that into. And even the dumpsters that get hauled away, a lot of these go to facilities where they get dumped out, and that stuff gets sorted
out at the job site. Yeah, because obviously we're going to have some brick masonry in here that they'll probably pick through and be able to sort that out. We have the other chimney there that takes apart the garage. I'm very excited. I'm very excited to always start a new project. Very excited to start a new series. But I can't tell you, I don't know, I've been with the Build Show 5 or 6 years. I've been dying to do a series with Shoreline Builders. So you guys, believe me when I say you are in for a treat. These guys, you're going to learn a lot. If you're a young builder out there and you're looking for that right example of, hey, who do I want to be when I grow up? Yeah, we'll talk to Jim. So I think we're going to cut it here on demo day. We're going to come back. We're going to catch up with Jim when we have the hole in the ground and we're forming footings, working on that foundation. We'll see you here shortly when we have a foundation to put in. All right, let's finish the demo. Alrighty, Build Show. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed those videos out on site, tearing the house down. Yeah, that old house, as much as it might have had some features that you could have argued for, having to take care of, his brother who's a quadriplegic. We need to build a house that you can care for somebody like that. And the fact that his sister's going to come and live, and him and his wife, so there's going to be 4 people in that house. We have to design a house to solve for that. So what are we looking at? We're looking at a house that probably has, I want to say it's probably close to about 2,800 feet or so on the first floor, second floor, maybe another 1,000, and then another 1,200, 1,400 in the basement, something like that. So anyways, and a lot of that is workshop space, but we'll take you through and how I zone it, how I think about the house, and the fact that, we're going to have people that are going to be moving around it that are in a wheelchair for the rest of their life. So we have to definitely make some serious considerations for what's happening there. So the house in general. We'll get rid of some of the real simple conveniences first. So this is the garage, right? And it's a 3-car garage. We have a 2-car here. You can see 1 car there, 1 car there, and then we have a 3rd car here. And we also have a people door. We also have stairs that go down to the basement. Right, those are always great. We also have stairs up to a landing here. You can see we have stairs there. Now, we might in fact put stairs on this side, but what the homeowner wanted was for me to show the builder and the homeowner what a ramp system would look like. So we do have this, it's a little over 12 feet there, a ramp that is 3 foot wide at the curb, 3'8" at its widest spot. The idea is that husband and wife team are going to use these 2 spots, 1 and 2, to house their personal vehicles, and then the one that they use here, van with the brother, is number 3. So he can get out either side here, come around and use the ramp, or in fact use the number 2 space and have access out the side. We've intentionally have an area here of larger access so that we know that we can handle loading and unloading a wheelchair in the vehicle, inclement weather, inside the garage. And we have a ramp that gets us into the house. So I'm just going to blow this up a little here. So we'll walk around in the zones. So that'll bring us in to basically the mudroom. And you'll see the mudroom is right there. It's a little convoluted, but we have some bench space there. We have a closet there. We also have a powder room that comes right off the kitchen that can be used there. But the person, you know, the wheelchair, you can come in and get into that main space really, really quick. The other benefit of this mudroom is that any guests that come in the front door, here's our front porch here, any guests that come in here, you can also use that coat closet and mudroom for. Or if you're the homeowner and you park in the driveway and want to use the front door, you can come in. And that mudroom is kind of a bridge between the garage door and, in fact, that front door. So we can use it there. We have a nice little formal entry here with a nice big arched cased opening happening there. Off of that on the side here is a home office for the husband. We have some pocket doors, we'll have a coffered ceiling, we have some shelving there, and you can see some desks. He has a window. So all of nice little features across there. But we also have a pantry that's tucked in here so that the kitchen has a place to store dry goods and stuff. I call it a Costco pantry. It's basically a walk-in closet for the kitchen. I'm gonna switch to blue because these areas here are kind of what I would argue certainly utilitarian in nature, right? They're the things I need in a house to make the house successful from a functioning purpose, right? Once I breach through here or through here, that front entry or basically back entry, you'll see that we have a large space here, basically, that is broken down into 3 spaces. We have the kitchen, the dining, and the living area. And these are purposefully set. So the kitchen takes advantage of the pantry, takes advantage of bringing groceries in the back door. We have countertop here with the refrigerator there. We have countertop here with the stove there, and then we have a large island, 11 feet, in fact, by roughly 4 feet with the sink and the dishwasher. And that overlooks a very large window here that goes out and looks out into the backyard. And then we have the dining room there. So the kitchen looks on to the dining room. Off to the side here, and I'll draw a dashed line there, we have our living area. So you can see, we'll go down to the thinner line. We have a coffered ceiling being set up. Now this is going to be a recess in the truss system up above. That recess will allow you to kind of experience the living room as its own space within the larger space. Likewise, we have a dashed line around the dining room table here. That is going to be for a dropped ceiling feature there. So we have these 3 spaces, the kitchen, the living room, the dining room. They're all basically in one giant room because that's, again, somebody in a wheelchair. We want to make it accessible for everybody. But we wanted a way to delineate and kind of make that side over there feel like a living room, that side over there feel like the dining room. So that's how we did it. But you can see this comprises probably about at least a third, maybe a little bit more of the first floor space. And then off of this, we also have some outdoor living here in a screened-in porch. So we have some dining and some sitting area, and you can see we have a door that goes right off of the kitchen and dining space, and we also have a door that goes out, and we have a rail system, but that'll lead you out to a little bit of a deck out there. Notice we have this kind of cantilevered section, and that's so that the brother, if he wanted to get out here, he could be in his wheelchair out here, and he's not necessarily in the circulation space. So we wanted to make sure that the deck had an appropriate space so that the brother kind of had a feel-good elbow room space out there, and we'll have a, zero threshold or near zero threshold across there. So we have an outside screen-in porch. We have a lot of bugs and mosquitoes and stuff up here in the summertime. So screen-in porches are, a number one must have if you want to experience the outside And then, of course, an outdoor deck with some stairs that go down there, stairs that go down here. We have an outdoor shower. We have a spa down on the lower patio. So there's a bunch of other living. The grill is down there. So we have a bunch of other activities, outdoor activities that are happening out there. But if I zoom back and I say, okay, this is all that living space, right? Here. The thing that I really want to pay attention to, and I'm going to go to a green line, is circulation. I want to make sure that even though we have all of these spaces, we have some very, very clear lines to operate in a wheelchair and, you know, manipulate a person walking with a brother in a wheelchair. So let's take a look at that. We have the front entryway here. That comes in. We have the living area there, and then the hallway to the bedrooms there. So we have good circulation through there. In the kitchen, we did 4'8" and 5'4", so we can get across here very easy and coming in that mudroom. So, and then we have that little connection, but we also can maneuver but between the island and the living room, and we have a nice wide connection there. So access around the island, around the kitchen. He can help in the kitchen, cook, be a part of the day's activity was very, very important. And as far as the dining room goes, he'll have access, you know, to this side of the table, that side, and that side real easy. No need to give him that side because he's going to want to sit here because he's going to want to look at that view out the window. So we didn't need to provide everything around there. This is a small jog out here, and that goes up and goes out. So notice you can go out and then go outside here without really interrupting that room a whole lot. So you can go in that room to stay, but you can also use that room as a hallway and as a means of access to get outside. And then lastly, we have a big slider here, but the door is here. So you can see there, it's a short jog, and now we're outside. So you can see that green line, the heavy green line there, is really painted the circulation space for consideration. And these were all considerations that we took, you know, very, very seriously, because obviously his brother in a wheelchair, it is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week, 365 a year scenario for him. So we have to make sure that life in that wheelchair is the best possible life that we can offer him in the spaces. So let's take a look. If we draw a thick red line here, right? Everything over here, I would call this semi-private, right? The front here, this is, you know, public realm, mudroom, front entry. Even the office is somewhat public. Semi-private, get back here. Like you would greet somebody at the door. If they're a friend, they come in. If they're the, you know, Amazon people, yeah, you close the door, they leave. So they never really get beyond the public space. Then you have the semi-private. But we're going to move into everything right of the line. And right of the line is what I would term our private space. Yeah. So first and foremost, we have a set of stairs here. So off the living room, we can go upstairs. And we'll look at that second floor. But downstairs, we needed two things, the owner's suite and the brother's suite. So you come in the hallway here. This is pretty much a dividing line. Everything down here is, we'll call it BS, brother's suite. Everything up here is owner's suite. So you go in that door, that takes you into the owner's bedroom, the owner's walk-in closet, and the owner's bathroom, toilet room, linen closet, double sinks with a window, nice oversized shower, and we have access to the outside. They want to be able to go out to their sauna and then come in, take a shower, or use the outdoor shower and come in, get ready for work or whatever in the morning there. So not only do you have this line going there, we pretty much have a separation here of private 1 and private 2 down below. So down below, we come down that hallway and we have the laundry room here. So both the owner's suite and the brother's suite can use it. But this is the doorway to everything brother's suite. So the brother, he has his bedroom out front here, and you can see he's gonna have a nice little bay window to look out. He has a twin bed because he doesn't need a full-size bed. He needs a smaller bed because he needs assistance in and out of the bed on a daily basis. So it's typically a smaller bed. We have a little mini closet here because in talking with the homeowner, the brother has a whole series of supplies and such that are required of him. So we need a special closet to basically be able to stock up on the supplies and stuff. So think of it as like a little aid assistant closet for supplies. And then we have a large closet here with double doors that he can then go literally scoot his wheelchair into the closet and make some daily decisions on what he wants to wear and be certainly part of his life and making sure that we have that space. We also have a pocket door here, which I would guess in most cases is going to be open. We have the toilet, oversized vanity there, and then a shower with basically 0 threshold here with some shampoo shelf and such there. And then of course his bedroom. And so that, my friends, is the first floor of the building. So why don't we take a stroll upstairs, and of course we have the door here that's going to take us down to the basement. But I'm going to go in purple right quick and do a very heavy line. So the second floor basically sits above here. So above that purple polygon is the second floor. So now let's go up the stairs. Let's take a look at the second floor. The second floor is basically you come up the stairs here and there is a division pretty much right here. So everything here is devoted to, let's call the sister space. And then this is simply guest bedroom, extra bedroom. So we'll do that first. Come down the hall, you open the door, you have a walk-in closet for bedroom 4. We have bedroom 4 proper here. I always draw the beds in, that's a queen size bed. And then of course, this bathroom stacks on the brother's bathroom downstairs. We have a vanity, toilet, and shower for the guest suite here with some windows and then some windows above that bay. For the sister, or before we get to the sister, we do have a mechanical space here, and we'll leave that for last because I'll tell you what's going to happen there. You come up the stairs, you go in here. It's called bedroom 3, but notice we're going to have a nice, cased opening there. So she's in fact getting her own little living room space, a little desk space here. So she has a little mini kind of suite to retreat to. Because as you can imagine, when you have a bunch of people living in a house in an environment that is a lot of work, in fact, there's no way around it, that everybody has got to be on their toes all the time. Well, when you get some time off, you might not want to hang out with everybody you've hung out with for the whole day. You might want a space to retreat to. So we made sure that she had her own space, desk space, for her computer and to sit and do whatever she wants to do. And also a living room space, the bedroom proper here, queen size bed. And then of course, a nice big walk-in closet here, and then her own bathroom, vanity, toilet, tub, shower with a window. So basically an oversized suite here with the extra space there. So this space, we're calling that the mechanical space. And the reason I'm calling that the mechanical space is because that is where our air handler is going to go. We are actually getting trusses made that have a space in them like that. So this is actually going to get us up into there, and then we'll run our ducts up there, and then we'll be able to service all of these spaces. So that truss is going to look something like that, right? It's going to come across, go up, come down, go like that. And then we'll put the ceiling in there, but that'll give us the opportunity to run ductwork and stuff from this mechanical room into this chase. And then that chase will see everything. So we'll have the mechanicals, everything. You'll be upstairs, be able to change the filters, all of that stuff kind of self-supporting itself on the second floor. And then lastly, let's dive downstairs. So downstairs, this is garage that we talked about. So that is unexcavated. We have stairs that come down. So the stairs that come down, we have a door down there, and it's a straight shot in, and that is all workshop. So you can see this is all workshop here. He has a little sink over there, tub sink, slop sink. We also have access to utility 1, and then utility 1 connects over to utility 2. So we have all of this space here as our utility space. We have our sewer ejector there because it's attached to the bathroom, which if I come down the house stairs, I arrive here. I can go into the workshop or turn right and go down into the space. If I walk down the hall, I'm in the fitness room. Fitness room has access to that bathroom. Bathroom also has access to a small sauna there. And then at the bottom of the stairs, we have a relaxation room as well as another small office that in fact could be a bedroom if you wanted, because we have an egress well here that you will see when we're talking about the foundation and all of those spaces. But as far as dirty and clean, we have a line here, right? So this is dirty basement. This is clean basement. All right, and guess what? Yes. If we looked at the floor joist systems, yeah, this one is going this way. This one is going this way, but we decided to use trimmable open web trusses. So you'll see those out in some of the framing episodes where we're installing those out there. But anyways, that is the lower floor. Workshop, fitness room, an office, a little relaxation room. We have some windows spotted across there, and then just a nice big utility space with an access here and access there with a connecting corridor there to run piping, electrical, mechanical, et cetera, between the two spaces. Run it overhead. I'm just going to go back to the first floor because that is the messiest drawing. We'll leave that one up. So hopefully you enjoyed that first episode, and now we know a little bit about the house. Yeah, stay tuned because we are on the heels of some really cool construction. And I know I mentioned it 100 times, but Jim's got a special place in my career. He's the owner of Shoreline Builders. I've watched his son grow up, you know, been with Jim for over 30 years. My very first project I did with him. So I'm beyond excited to share this with you. But anyways, hopefully you enjoyed that. We are moving on to construction.